Did you know that
We're
the
live.
female moderator, not that it matters to me, I don't belong to sororities or anything like that, but the female, no, don't trust me. Look, any club or sorority that would have me as a member is crazy because I wouldn't belong to that club. But they're sorority sisters, two different chapters. I mean, the same chapter, but two different colleges.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, no, they're not going to be easy on her. How many fact checks did they do on her?
None.
During it?
Zero. None. I watched it.
Yeah. But they believe what fact check says. Said she did a couple, but okay, I want to ask you three people this. I need an answer from all three. If you tell a half truth, what's that make the other half?
A lie?
There you go.
Half the truth?
No, just a lie.
Two halves equal a whole.
If you're half pregnant, what are you?
Half
Still pregnant.
You're what?
You're still pregnant.
Okay, I'm just pointing out the facts here.
All right, YouTube is up, everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, yay for that one. You know, I can explain that in technical terms like Rayford probably, because I won't go into that. So, I checked on a lot of the things she said were half truths that make them half lies, but she was never pressed on them. Why?
Who would be pressing her on them?
Well, it was supposed to be the moderator's job.
Right.
I mean, they obviously fact-checked President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess here's the thing. And, you know, he said, I'm not going to debate no more. Why would he? Give me one in your mind, news organization, any organization that would hold a fair debate with fair moderators.
Why do you go to a news organization?
Okay, I'll take anybody. Get Elliot Potter out there.
Why don't we get some people who are basically professional moderators, so the same kind of people who hold these events where they put people behind a glass and you sit on the other side, and these moderator out there, you do not know who they're favoring. I've been involved in several of them as the guy behind the glass, because we did focus groups for people. They did not know who hired the focus group people to put it on. These are the kinds of people that you could put in charge of a debate. They have the questions. They have no opinions. They ask the questions. They get the answers. The other person in the room is the one that can go, when it's his or her time, can say, wait a minute, let me do a fact check, and then present what his or her version of the truth is. And then, of course, the person who made the stupid statement, if it was a stupid statement in the first place, gets a chance to respond. That's the way you do a debate.
I totally agree. David Muir and the lady Linda, they were both wrong by fact checking anybody during a live debate. That's not their job.
Nope. They're not news people. They're not supposed to be news people up there.
No.
They leave your credentials at the door. If that's the best you've got, ABC. Leave their credentials at the door. No questions related to news. No opinions.
The only thing worse of that night could have been if they had George step all over you himself.
Yeah.
Annapolis.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I'm glad he didn't do it.
He would have been more obvious. It would have been easier to pick him out of the crowd. Georgie.
Yeah, any of these networks should have never done it. And we're getting too close to it now, where now things are starting to come out. ABC don't want to answer the questions on that part.
I wouldn't either if I was them.
Well, of course not.
Plead the fifth. Move on.
Other than the fact that their president of the company is a Democrat and donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the DNC. But here's the thing. As these things keep going on, and she keeps going out telling her stories, and President Trump, God forbid any more attempts happen on him. Coincidence? Maybe. people need to really sit down for a minute, forget television, forget all these other types of media that are out there that are one-sided, and just ask, what are we going to gain by her being president?
I will do it for both sides. What do we gain? Add the pluses and the minuses to each one of them and come out and see who's got more pluses than minuses and who's got the most pluses and the most minuses. The most minuses, no. The most pluses, yes.
Do it. Thank you, Ray, for doing it in any election. Quit being influenced by television.
Please.
Please. And don't think I'm trying to influence anybody. I just want people to stop believing all this other stuff. I want the Swifties to quit worrying about what she does, who she talks about, who she speaks for. Quit talking about all the celebrities and who they're backing.
Oh, please.
Please. Who is going to help Rafer Brown? Who's going to help Lee Burrows? Who's going to help Kelly Knapp? And all our listeners. Who's going to help them?
It will not be the Twinkies out of Hollywood. I will tell you that. They never have helped me. They never will help me.
Well, let's face it. On the closing note, and then I'll let y'all go.
Okay.
They all swore they were going to leave the country when Trump got elected, and they were still here.
Yeah, they lied then too, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you're a
Y'all have
liar.
a blessed day.
You too. That's the first thing I would ask any of them if they brought in here. Did you say Oprah? Was it Oprah who said she was going to leave the country if Trump was elected last time around? Oh, or 8 years ago? Yeah,
A lot of them said that.
a bunch of people said that. If I could interview any one of them and sitting in here, did you say that you would
Yeah,
leave
there
the
was quite a
country?
few of them.
Did you say that you would leave the country if Trump was elected? And you didn't leave the country, did you? So, two possibilities here. You saw the light and you think Trump ain't that bad, or you're a liar. You tell me which it is. How's that for your option? The Marine Forecast brought to you by Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville. North Carolina, you may not know it, Kelly does, is number 2 in the nation for teen vape use.
Yep.
Why do we have this distinction? I don't know. Maybe there's some problems out there. I think probably some of the problems start with the parents and caregivers who don't really care. I'm talking to the parents now, do you want to learn how to help keep teens from vaping? Maybe you don't see it a problem. Maybe that's why you should go and visit somebody who can show you why it is a problem. Maybe you want to learn how all about vapes. What's in them? Do you have a clue? Do you have a clue how dangerous they can be for teenagers? Or simply what the various kinds of vapes are available? Well, Community Prevention Services of Jacksonville offers free information on all substance misuse prevention issues for young people and adults. You got some kind of a problem out there? They've got clients from 7 to 100. They will deal with it. They'll help you deal with it. Depression, anxiety, yep. Mental health counseling, yep. Vaping, drug use, yep. Give them a call, 910-353-0972. I've checked all the boxes there, 910-353-0972. Community Prevention Services accepts most insurance plans as well. They're located at 918 Henderson Drive in Jacksonville. Offshore today, small craft warning remains in effect through tonight. Southerly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas 5 to 7 feet. Near shore, they're 4 to 6, subsiding to 3 to 4 this afternoon. If you see the seas starting to come down this afternoon, that's a sign that tomorrow might be a better day for you or the day after. Okay? Give it a couple days. Sounds and rivers, a moderate chop today. Tomorrow, westerly winds 5 to 10, becoming southwesterly in the afternoon, 3 to 5, 2 to 3 near shore. Remember, all of these are forecasts, they're predictions, as long as all the weather patterns and conditions do exactly what the weather predictors say they're going to do, then they could call these as a forecast. Northerly winds on Thursday, much better if it happens, 5 knots, becoming easterly in the afternoon, seas only 2 to 4 feet, 2 footers near shore, sounds and rivers flat, increasing to a light chop in the afternoon, better towards the end of the week.
All right. So this says mostly sunny, high of 81. But I pulled up my other one and it looks like, around 11, 12, 1, it'll be partly cloudy. So it'll be a mix of cloud and sun. So, because that's a little more, it's kind of gross out there
Could
right
go
now.
either way.
Yeah. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 66. Tomorrow, according to this, mostly sunny, high of 85. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, low of 67. And on Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 83, with a 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms after 2 p.m. I don't think we need that.
So
We-
what
we've
if
got
it's
enough.
only half sunny?
Yeah.
It
Agreed.
is a mixture of clouds
beat me.
and sun.
Yeah.
Don't beat me.
4 key questions that people have on their minds right now, as does law enforcement. Did Mr. Ralph act alone? That's one question. Investigators will get some warrants to scour Ralph's social media, and they're speaking with his family and associates now to determine whether someone else was involved. He had a girlfriend in Hawaii. When he moved out there in 2017, he kind of hooked up with a lady.
Mhm.
I don't know whether he left from here with her or not. Maybe she's the one that was posting on our Facebook page there for a while. I don't know. I'm
Oh,
defending
yes, that one.
him. So they're looking for any possible accomplice or someone who had knowledge and didn't say anything.
Mhm.
That could be a bit of a problem for you. What was his motive in all this? They're narrowing it down, perhaps. There was a picture yesterday. I do not know, because it could be a fake, it could be a real picture, but it doesn't necessarily, I don't know that it's his pickup truck. There was a picture circulating yesterday with a pickup truck claiming it was his with a Biden-Harris bumper sticker on it. I don't know. Have no clue whose it was. Associates and social media, they're looking at those. Investigators will be searching for what could have motivated this 58-year-old guy to take aim at the former president. What do you think? What kind of motive could he have had other than just not liking Trump? But there are a bunch of people that don't like Trump. There are a lot of people that are going to vote for Trump that don't like Trump. We know that. They did that for the last 2 election cycles. What would cause somebody today, even if they don't like Trump and refer to him as a buffoon or an idiot and a fool, and then admit that he supported Trump in 2016? Why? What would be the reason that he would want to shoot him?
Well, it's obvious
What
that
would be
he's
the motive?
mentally unfit for most.
Well,
anything.
anybody that, I don't care who they did, Lee Harvey Oswald, we know, he was out there in left field, but unfortunately he's dead and we don't have a way to figure out what his actual motive was. We don't have a way to figure out what Mr. Crook's motive was a couple of months ago, because he's dead too.
Yeah.
You can do all the background checks and interview all the people out there. This guy's son said, no, he wouldn't ever do anything violent. Well, he's been arrested and convicted of violent crimes.
Mhm.
Okay. So Mr. Son, who has been estranged from his dad for some time, you don't know what you're talking about, but I understand you're his son.
Exactly.
Steve,
What would be this guy's motive?
man,
Tough question to put on you, right?
I was going to say, I found from my perspective, it's hard for me to wrap my head around a crazy person's thoughts. My mind don't work that way, so I just have a real hard time trying to understand their motivation.
So you've deemed him crazy already, right? So we can write it off to being crazy.
Well-
and I understand that. It's easy to do, and I do it all the time. The guy's a nut job. What else can you say?
Anybody takes a gun and posts up like that towards anybody.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Or they're just
You know.
very, very mean. Maybe he does have an ulterior motive that we don't know
Well,
about.
There's people who are mean, but they ain't crazy.
Yeah, that's
it takes a combination of the two. I would say.
Well, this guy, no military experience, trying to get together an army to go out there and help Ukraine a few years ago. And now the postings that he's got, he was asking Iran to come and kill the president, the former president. Come on. Is that crazy or is that just mean?
I'd say 6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Okay.
In my book, there's crazy people out there that just think, crazy thoughts, but none of them are harmful or, malicious.
And of course,
there's happy crazy people too.
Yeah, and of course,
You know.
I have not read yet whether that weapon was actually loaded or not. I know it had a magazine fixed in it, but I do not know that it was even had ammo in the magazine, or that the round was chambered in the gun. Do we know that? And would that make a difference to you? As far as the law is concerned, no. But
I was going to say, honestly, there's all kinds of things about it that puzzle me, but at the end of the day, it's a crazy person. So it may not make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But can you think of a worse gun for him to be trying to use to do something like that?
Oh yeah, I got an 1851. I got an 1851 musket, but that would be the worst gun to use. But
well, honestly, even that, Raver, you're familiar with those Chinese SKS?
I am.
They're junk.
They are
junk, and the scope mounts they make for them are horrible.
Yeah, well, I don't have a Chinese. I got a Russian one, and it's a well-built gun, but I don't have a Chinese. They were kind of stamped out in mass production by the Chinese, and they are pieces of junk, selling for $29.95 at Walmart in 1970 something. Yes, they're a piece of junk.
Right. I was going to say, that's what makes the Russian ones popular, is they were milled out of steel, and the ones from China were stamped out of sheet metal, and the ones from China, the daggone receiver floats all over the place, and it's they rattle.
I don't know that at 250 yards, if he had indeed pulled the trigger, that he would have come even close to hitting what he was aiming at. I don't know that.
If he had been, maybe, but like I say, it just puzzles me. It's just
yeah. Well,
the inexperience that honestly, I'm glad that they don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, me too.
But it just shows that it's just odd. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to call this morning is I didn't want to pick on Trump. I want to pick on J.D. Vance a little bit.
Okay, I haven't looked at anything on him lately.
I got you. He did an interview with CNN, and they cornered him on the story about the dogs and the cats.
Okay.
And his response, he looked right in the camera and said, and I quote, "If we have to create a story to get mainstream media to focus on what we want them to focus on, then that's what we're going to do."
Oh,
I didn't read that or hear that. I'll explore that. I hope that was a tongue-in-cheek response, a wise-ass response to a question that was posed. But I do not know that. I just said I hope that that's what he would, because that would be something I would say. Never let facts stand in the way of a good story.
Yeah, but we all know that the story's not true at this point. And like I say, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times just to make sure I was seeing him say what I was seeing him say. And even the reporter was like, "You just said you created the story." And then he tried to double back and say, "Oh, no, we took a piece of news and we made a story out of it." And saying that wasn't any better, because it wasn't news, it was a Facebook post.
Well, in the first place, even if they took that, and even if some reporter somewhere, as we know, like for 2 days, this rifle was an AK-47 down there in Florida, but I knew better. But even if somebody else says it and I know better, I'm not going to call it what it ain't. Even if a reporter in, where was that, Springfield, somewhere up yonder, even if a reporter found somebody to say that doesn't mean that somebody that said it is telling the truth. If it's that questionable, you better dig into it. They tell me the sky's blue, that's one thing. But if you tell me that some illegals are eating cats and dogs, that's another story.
It's CNN.
I become a skeptic at that point in time.
Right.
And just to be clear, Steve is right. According to this, he did say it.
Mm-hmm. No doubt he said it.
And that he said that he was creating the story. But there was a woman arrested for eating cats, but she's not an immigrant.
And
she's an American citizen.
She's crazy.
She eats cats. But yeah.
She's Ruth's girlfriend.
even though they may have been a woman that was arrested from that, that's not the story. That
correct.
Agreed. It's irrelevant to the facts of this whole mess.
I don't know what made them think this whole thing is stupid. Like, why even make up something like this.
Right. That's going to be hard to really wrap your head around, I think.
I'm
but
trying.
I
but,
can.
yeah.
I'll try.
My problem, right. My problem with it is their inability to admit when they're wrong. They double, triple down on something so ridiculous because they refuse to admit they're wrong about anything.
Mhm.
Well, here's
And to me,
further. I know a lot of people
that's
like
a
that.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're willing to go down a dark hole and lie to all of us constantly, rather than just admit they were wrong about some little small thing like that.
Why don't you
They asked
say,
Trump-
I mean, we've heard people say, I misspoke how many hundreds of times
Mhm.
they've lied through their teeth, but that would have been better than trying to backpedal and still maintain that this story is true
Because it's not
because some
true.
reporter came out with it.
Well, now they've expanded and said that they're snatching geese out of the park. And can't nobody find anything to support
There
that
was
one.
a
But J.D.
story,
Vance said at the
I
same
don't know.
interview.
I might do that around Christmas time.
I see something about that, but I got.
Didn't you have goose
I tell
for
you,
Christmas supper?
we had-
I'm planning on it.
How bad would somebody freak out if we went down to the city park and took a slingshot and took out a rabbit or a squirrel and cleaned it and started cooking it right there in the park?
I will tell you that.
Well, look at how bad it got in Swansboro.
I will
with
tell you right now,
Duckgate.
it would get
Duckgate.
you would be arrested here in about a New York split second. Okay.
Right, but that ain't something that's like outrageous or out of, I mean, I wouldn't do it. It would be traumatic, but
I'd have to be hungry.
Right, but there's people eat squirrels and rabbits around here quite often.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that now. Don't get me wrong. I've eaten a bunch of them.
But if they did it where people could see them, it would be quite traumatic.
Well, if you do it in the public, which there's no hunting in the city, that's number one. And a
Right,
slingshot is a weapon, then you can use it for hunting, and you can't hunt in the city. Period. So you're going to get arrested for it. So don't go try it.
Right. But I was just being.
I understand what you're saying.
Joking on that point.
Oh,
that,
and the public would come down on you. Let me put it to you this way. We got a call when I was at WECT. We got a call it was during hunting season, from somebody said, this guy is down here is in an open area, hunting area. You could hunt there. He's not shooting ducks. He's shooting swans. Well, guess what, Jack? Because I had a reporter that he wanted to jump all over that one and run down there. I said, you do know that it's legal to hunt swans during the swan season? Huh? I said, yeah. A lot of people hunt swans.
Why would you hunt a swan?
Because
Why?
they're delicious.
See,
I would never hunt swans because they mate for life.
and I will
If you
fight
take out their
somebody if I
mate.
see him
I'll
hunt a
pay
swan.
you to go after an ostrich
Wow.
because those are mean devils.
They get big
Well,
eggs.
swans
They're
are
mean.
unique. Yeah, swans are unique that they mate for
So are
life.
camels.
If you kill their mate, they will never.
Yeah, just
They will.
Well,
live
why
for the
would
rest of
you?
their
Well,
life.
then to be mean for you just a second is I'm going to irritate you and Kelly especially and kill both of them. Both the mates.
Hey, well.
Oh, my God, Rayford, you know what? Nope.
See what you started?
Here, let me ask you this. Somebody brought this up, so I'm going to ask you, Steve. What's the difference between what the GOP is doing about Springfield and what the Democrats are doing about Project 2025 accusations?
Honestly, there's night and day there. With them making these accusations, they are making these Haitian immigrants, which are legal immigrants. The Republican governor came out and said that he wanted to clarify that. They're making them a target, and it's unnecessarily making them a target. Now, Project 2025 is a completely different story. If y'all want to believe Donald Trump don't know nothing about that, you can, but I mean, over 100 people in his circle contributed to that. Now, I don't mean that he was in on it, but wait a minute.
Right.
All those people around him for the last 2 years, this is what they've been working on. This is the biggest project that Heritage Foundation has put out. They haven't even mentioned it to him.
No, he admitted that. He admitted that he's read
He's
it.
saying he's not using that as his platform. There will be, as any platform that's out there, any piece of work that comes out there. I approve of green grass and blue skies. Okay, even at the Heritage Foundation it says that you can agree with that in your
Yes.
platform.
Right,
all right,
right.
duh. But I personally don't believe he would have taken that as his platform because he is too vain to do it.
But let me finish.
Okay, go
Is that
ahead.
Surely these people have been talking to him about this. And Donald Trump's story always evolved. When he was first asked, he said he didn't know nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's evolved to he knows a little about it, but that's not his platform. This over here is his platform.
Which I
So eventually he got to where he should have been on day one, but on day one he completely denied knowing anything about it.
Mhm.
And usually when Donald Trump does that, it comes out eventually that yes, he did know about it, and he was just being untruthful in the beginning.
Yeah, well, who knows?
And-
I don't know.
Well, and I don't know that he's going to adopt those plans, but I believe Donald Trump is transactional. If they've got something he wants,
Oh,
then
yeah.
he will do what they want him to do. It isn't a matter if he believes in it or not. Is if they've got something that he wants, that he's willing to do that for.
Well, if he believes
And,
in it, I don't blame him for adopting it. But if I don't believe in it, you can rest assured, I don't care. I don't care who gave it to me. You know, if Kelly
Well,
gives it to me and I don't
fundamental-
believe it, then it's not going to be mine.
The fundamental problem for me for Project 2025 is it wants to consolidate power to the executive branch, where we've always believed in a 3 equal branches of government,
Well,
and that gives us checks and balances. They want to put it turn this country to a situation where one person dictates to everybody else.
he
Now,
can wish
that
that.
person is a good.
Yeah, he can wish that all he wants. However, there's this pesky thing called the Constitution that he's going to have a problem with.
Let me just tell you this right here. The Heritage Foundation has a storied history in the conservative movement
Since
dating back to the
1973.
1970s, even before Ronald Reagan was elected, when conservatism was really starting to gain respectability as an ideology and a philosophy, as a set of ideas. I don't like the way they worded that.
Right.
And then once you get Ronald Reagan elected, the Heritage Foundation presented the incoming president with 2,000 ideas in a 20-volume package. Ronald Reagan handed it out to every single member of the cabinet in the first meeting. And by the first year in office, Heritage estimated that 60% of those ideas had been put into practice in some way by the president.
Okay. It might be worth mentioning that the Heritage Foundation is not necessarily the same group it was when Reagan was president.
Yeah, a lot of
the
them are dead.
Republicans aren't the same. Well, the Republicans aren't the same group as when Reagan was president. You know, a lot of things have changed. But like the thing I'd say is Donald Trump in the beginning absolutely saying he didn't know nothing about it. That was false.
Mhm.
All the people with the Heritage Foundation that are supporting Project 2025 have come out and said, yeah, we know he's going to deny it. He's got to because he's in an election, but he has told us he's on our side. So that's where a lot of people look at it and say, hey, the people at the Heritage Foundation say Donald Trump's lying, that he knows all about it. That's where the problem comes in. And people
Well, there's
want to
no
argue that with
proof
you so
in
much.
any of that. So it's
There's
he
not.
said, she
There's
said.
not.
Right.
There's a lot of
There's not,
supposition
but
on
there's-
both
Yes.
sides.
There is. They've got where they had a hidden video camera talking to the guy who put out Project 2025, and him sitting there saying Trump knows all about it.
Have you
and
seen the
they've
video?
spoken extensively about it. I have.
I haven't seen it.
Well, listen to
It's
this.
been out for quite a while. You can pull it up, but
Okay.
I mean,
Now
That's
that
the reason
includes Trump present.
no, it does not. It includes the guy from the Heritage Foundation that's saying that about Trump. So I'm
Here's
saying
something
that
really
it's
interesting.
hearsay, but it's
Yeah, I don't.
that's the reason why so many people are arguing with you that Trump is deeper in this than he is.
All right. The Heritage Foundation also in the 1990s came up with the idea of the individual mandate to buy health insurance as a conservative means of enacting universal health care. The Heritage Foundation ended up distancing itself from that idea, but it was very famously the basis of the sorts of health care plans that were put into place, first of all, by Governor Mitt Romney in Massachusetts, and then by President Obama on a national scale.
I'm not trying to say the Heritage Foundation is a bad organization.
Right.
They have been a good organization, and I'm not saying this makes them a bad organization, but they are this Project 2025 takes them in a new direction, something
Yeah.
that they put forward before.
Yeah.
And so that's the reason why a lot of people on the left are arguing with you about it, because there's the people at the Heritage Foundation are contradicting what Trump's trying to say about he don't know nothing about it.
Well, I read where the president of the foundation came out and said that no, it was not Trump's platform. So Take it as it
He
is.
did, but then they got him in a hotel room sitting there talking to somebody casually that's got a hidden camera, and you can pull the video up, watch it. I ain't gonna go through it and say all he
Yeah.
says, but he completely contradicts everything that they've said publicly and what Trump said
And again,
publicly.
that was not Trump on camera saying
And it's
anything.
not.
Okay.
It's not. I'm just trying to say why people keep wanting to argue this with you is because there's, some things that are making Trump seem like he's not completely honest. And I know y'all find that hard to believe that
No,
he might
we
not be
never
completely
said-
honest.
I know he's a liar. So
We
how,
never
how do
I didn't say that.
I
didn't
did.
say that.
I
You
know
did.
he's a liar.
But
I
also,
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I know that Kamala Harris is a liar. I know that Joe Biden is a confused liar. I know Hillary Clinton is a born again.
Confused? Did you see him yesterday when he was coming out on the lawn
No.
and the reporters asked him about the second attempt on Trump? And he said, well, I'm glad the president is okay.
Yeah, I heard that.
What?
But I mean, I'm not going to criticize him. He's one and done. He's just
And that's
give him
what
his
kind of
next
respect
4
is
months.
all.
That's all I'm doing.
well, a lot
That's
of them
fine.
refer to him as the president, other ones as the president. So I don't see that as anything other than, a lot of them refer to each other. Yes,
They
respect.
refer to
and-
each other as Mr.
that-
President.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
So that's the second time he's done
but
that.
I also
Right.
think too, to Steve's point, anybody can say anything about anybody. And as I don't know anything about Project 24. I mean, I've read it. I mean,
I
okay,
haven't.
I read some, but I hadn't read the whole thing. Only because I didn't know what it was, and so I haven't deep dived
Okay.
into it. But anybody can say anything. How do we know some of these aren't disgruntled former employees of Trump? I mean, anybody can go in and say anything about somebody,
Yeah,
no matter who they
I
are.
do it all the time.
Steve, do you like spaghetti?
Do I like spaghetti?
Yes.
Yeah.
White sauce
There's a
or
lot of different varieties.
white sauce or meat sauce?
Meat sauce? We put white
sauce
sauce
on
on spaghetti.
You don't like clam?
I'll eat Alfredo, but
Okay, I do too. I like it.
It's okay
Are
occasionally.
you taking a poll? Why are you asking? him to
Yes,
do that?
people are asking.
She's cooking for us all.
Somebody
That's what
asked
we
me
eat.
to ask Steve if he likes spaghetti.
You like conch chowder, Steve?
clam chowder. I do.
Conch chowder.
Conch chowder. Conch's a little chewy. I ain't gonna say I don't like
Oh,
it.
you
but I'd
couldn't
rather
even
have
tell
clam.
it in this.
You didn't know it.
Yeah,
You would
Yeah,
not know.
it was like mint.
I did 4 gallons on Saturday, and most of it was eaten.
Yep.
Not by me.
And my stupid self
You
didn't
could
think
have
to bring a
just saved me a little
Tupperware.
Dixie cup or something, man. Put it in the freezer.
Come on down. I've got enough in the refrigerator right now for us.
Ugh.
Might be,
All right.
might be
So good.
breakfast for me this morning. You never can tell. All right, Steve.
All right.
We got to go. Wanted to end on a
Thanks,
little
Steve.
levity,
All
not
right.
serious. Okay.
I love
Have a
arguing with
wonderful
Steve.
day.
I'm not arguing with him. I agree with him most of the time. So, we're just argument crap. Um, that my question's been answered here in a newest story here that SKS did have a scope. We know the serial number was removed and it was loaded. Don't know
Ooh.
whether it's one in the
Okay.
chamber or not, but it was loaded.
All right.
Not a loaded magazine. And the dude has been charged with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Finally,
There
why
you
wasn't
go.
he charging all the others? I don't know. In North
There you
Carolina,
go.
they had him multiple times, and possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number. Like that's going to solve it. That means they think that they can't trace it to find out who it was stolen from,
Mhm.
because I guarantee you that it's stolen. Folks, filing off the serial number on a piece of metal, that metal, when it is stamped, it's stamped deeper
Yeah, I was
than the
gonna say,
visible
they can pull it
portion
off.
of
Yeah.
what you can see when it's first stamped. It goes
agree with
deeper into the metal, and you can rest assured the wonderful crime lab in Quantico, they're working on it even as we speak. Okay.
Yep.
Let's say he was also charged that possession of a weapon of mass destruction, a binary explosive with a 10-inch detonation cord and a
Ooh.
blasting cap.
Wow.
That's what it was in 2002.
Yeah, I saw that.
So let's go back,
Okay.
y'all.
That's like a bomb.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It's an explosive device,
Yep.
an IED, they call it
I
today.
wonder what he was going to bomb.
Don't know. Why did he even get out of jail
I
for
don't
that
know.
without them finding out more about
Well,
it?
why did he not even serve any jail time for that?
He had been charged with possession of guns, of course, and the question so many people have asked, how was he able to get another weapon if he was a convicted felon? That's an easy thing.
Oh, anybody can do that.
Come on. You can go,
I got a bunch of clients that have told me how they can do that.
yeah,
I mean,
you just go out on the
yeah.
streets and you find a drug dealer somewhere.
mhm.
I guarantee you he's taking a gun in exchange for some drugs. You can buy it from them because that's why they take it, man. They don't keep the guns, they sell them.
Yeah.
Duh.
But I mean,
I think when drug raids are done, you find guns that are there that they are running the serial number. And so if you guys have got guns, you record your serial numbers and keep
Yeah.
them in a safe place, two different
I
safe
know, I have
places.
to go back and redo that.
I do too. But you need to do things like that.
Mhm.
And I'd suggest you take pictures of them to prove it. One more thing, because crooks are not smart. If it's a handgun, take the grip off, just unscrew it from the side of it and engrave or at least put a piece of paper inside that hollow area
I see what you're
with
saying. Yeah.
your
Good idea.
with your North Carolina driver's license number. Put
Mhm.
NC and then your digit.
Mine's engraved on my
Any
357.
Any cop can run that. Any
Mhm.
state in the country, they can run that. They cannot run serial numbers necessarily right away. It
Mhm.
might not be there, for
Yeah.
instance. You might not have it, for instance.
Mhm.
If you've got your name or your North Carolina driver's license number or any other states, be sure you indicate what state it is. Any police officers, dispatch can run that and tell you who that person is.
Mhm.
And you make a telephone call because they got to have a current address if they got a driver's license, right? And then you just go from there. Find out if they know where their gun is.
I
Done.
did that on. I took off my grip on my 357 and engraved my driver's license number
Yep.
on the inside.
Yep. It's been done for
Yeah.
decades like that.
But I still have to go back and write all the serial numbers.
Yeah,
down.
that needs to be done. Because I got one returned rapidly. Well, it took a while, but I got
Mhm.
the person who took it arrested rapidly
Mhm.
a few years ago.
Yeah, it just took a while to get the gun back.
It took a while. Well, I had to go to
Wow.
court.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then he pleaded guilty to a nothing charge. He's been arrested since then.
Well, that's
yes,
not
he
a shock.
has.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm surprised, shocked, and dismayed.
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, I just happened to notice it says
I told his mama that day he was going back
Right.
to jail. It would not be long. Just keep your drawers on.
Did you notice it's 99% humidity outside?
Yes.
I just happened to glance up
It's
and
thick.
see that. Yeah.
It's really
That's
thick
a big
out
old
there.
yikes.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to say that.
Okay, y'all.
Okay.
It's the end of another day. We'll be
Mhm.
back tomorrow morning in spite of what some people would like. Too bad. YouTube, I'm talking about. They tried to
Right.
bump us, but we got a backup. We got
Yeah.
Facebook as well. We're going to sooner than soon, we're
Yeah.
going to have our own
Internet radio. Yes.
station.
Yep.
Y'all
Woohoo!
got it full time, big time.
Yep. Right.
Got
Right.
it
Bigger
we
and
finally
better.
picked who
bigger,
we're
better,
gonna
and better.
use.
Mhm.
We have our own domain now, so we'll have a website.
We got it listed. We have our domain, Live and Local Real Talk.
We've got
It
new
belongs to
logos
us,
coming
go figure.
out.
And
So-
right now it's under, if you go there, don't worry about it. It just says in progress or whatever it says.
Well, it's not going to say anything right now.
Well, it does.
Not
'cause
till I hit that button.
They put it up.
Right. It's liveandlocalrealtalk.com. That's our domain. That's ours.
It belongs to us.
Belongs to us. So
So.
a lot of things coming.
Yep. So it's nice and simple. So
Yeah.
if you listen to Live and Local Real Talk, you'll know how to find us.
Exactly.
And we will be having an internet station that will be more reliable than
Mhm.
Facebook or YouTube.
Yeah.
It will be, and you can carry, it will also be available as an app type thing to get on your cell phones so you can ride up and down the streets.
Mhm.
You can go to the
on your
moon.
on your tractor, Jack.
Hmm.
Right.
You might even be able to get it up there at the space station. I don't know.
We're sending it with them. We need to talk to Christina.
We might not get it back though. It'll be all right. You know, if they come back, we'll get it back.
If it rides on the Starliner one or the other one, whatever it is. But yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow. We
Yeah.
got Dr. Rosemary Stein at 7:30 in the morning. Find out what's
Yes.
cooking in the world of, sick kids. Find out what's going on there. And also we've got things are changing constantly. Our Medicare expert
Peter
will be in the
Ellis.
house.
Yes.
If you've got questions,
I've got questions.
if y'all got questions other than in here, feel free to write them down, make a note of them today, and call us tomorrow when he's on the air. He will answer the questions. Give us just a little bit of time to get situated, but then you can start your calls. For those of you who have never called, have never written the phone number down, I'll give it to you now. Put it on that sheet of paper that you're going to write your questions on. 910-333-0139. 910-333-0139. Say goodbye.
Goodbye. Have a safe day.
Bye, everybody. Drive carefully.
I was wondering if she was there.
No, I was looking at something over there.
I was telling them to say goodbye, ladies, and neither one of them followed their instructions.
Well, I was
It
looking
a
at something on your
Say
computer
goodbye,
over there.
ladies.
Yeah.
Because we know how you are.
Goodbye, everybody.
No, goodbye, ladies. You're live and local.
Goodbye,
We'll
ladies.
talk. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Have a great and safe day.